today I'm going to talk about how B-hops have lowered rocket racing skill ceiling. First off, what is a B-hop? A B-hop is a mechanic where you air roll, jump, and flip to maintain and even gain your momentum. I just did a string of them there, as an example. For air roll, we call this a double flip. A double flip is slightly different, and in my opinion, requires a lot more skill. While with B-hops, you can perform one basically anywhere. With a double flip, you can only do it in certain places, such as on a rail, like right here. I will try and hit one, but again, it's basically frame perfect, and it's, a lot harder. However, with the introduction of B-hops, double flipping became basically obsolete. They are used in some world records. That was not a double flip. But, few and far between. Other mechanics also became obsolete alongside the current B-hop meta, like drifting, boost timing, etc. Without using B-hops, a run close to perfection, which is executable by humans, is theoretically possible. At least we can get close. And while you may think a B-hop run from the start to the finish is difficult, complexity comes in the simple things. Because a perfect B-hop run is not possible. And we can't really get close. Because there's always going to be a way to slightly, do a B-hop faster, add in more B-hops, get a better angle, and essentially a human can't do that. That's not possible for a human to perform. So, for what a human can perform, the game is much more complex without B-hops. It requires an understanding of, a lot more mechanics, a lot more timings, and also a big one was routing. Routing was constantly changing without B-hops. One map in particular I'd like to talk about is Sidewinder. I grinded it myself for a while, and Jam discovered a rail flip. I might put a clip right here. Is both incredibly difficult to time and barely saves any time. At the same time, it's incredibly complex to hit and barely saves anything. Which is why in a B-hopless run you'll be happy to save a 100th of a second, a 1,000th of a second. While in a B-hop run, if you put two runners side by side, one person that has, let's say, a 38.8 and one person that has a 38.6, they can do the exact same route with the exact same turbos placement and everything. The only difference will be that the one is B-hopping better. What does that mean? We don't really know. His angle might be better. He might be dropping to the ground slightly faster. And that will gain him multiple tenths of a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in speedrunning, or even competitive, it is an incredible amount. There's also a lot less room for error in a B-hopless run compared to a B-hop run. In a B-hop run, if you miss a B-hop, you could still get the world record. You could still win the race. In a B-hopless run, if you mess up, it's basically over. It's a lot harder to catch up. You have to, master your mechanics a lot more. which is why you may go for a riskier strategy that, you know, it's a lot more risky, but and saves very little time, but it might catch you up. One of the most important parts of a run in rocket racing, be that B-hopped or B-hopless, is momentum. In a B-hopless run, you can see that everything someone does is to optimize their momentum, to keep their speed longer, to, you know, make their car go faster for longer. That is what momentum is. However, this need for a perfect, you know, flip or a perfect drift is basically obsolete in a B-hop run, because with B-hops you essentially have infinite momentum. Even if you miss one, you can get it right back. Another point is that B-hops led to a disinterest in discovering more about the game. I can name maybe one major discovery since B-hops were released, and that was drift releasing, which was discovered by Bros shortly after B-hops came out. Other than that, players are so focused on mastering B-hops and how much they can abuse those that no new discoveries, no new mechanics, barely any new routes have come into light. We don't know if there's still secrets to this game. You could argue that there is nothing left to discover, but I argue that you'd be wrong. I think there is plenty left to find out, discover in this game, but it is hindered by the fact that B-hops would probably make any new discoveries obsolete. With each new discovery, we could make this game more and more precise. We could make this game, you know, more and more perfect. But with B-hops, we don't need perfection. We only really need about 95% accuracy. And the difference between getting a, you know, 95% accurate B-hop and anything lower is monumental. Compared to like a, you know, momentum, a slightly better route on a map that lets you keep your momentum longer in the air. With B-hops, you get a better B-hop and you save tenths of a second off of a run that didn't get the same precision of B-hops. Which, if you think about it, it's insane that no matter how good world records become with B-hops, you'll be able to beat them by simply getting a slightly better B-hop.